Even though fasting is commonly associated with weight loss because you obviously need to be in a calorie surplus to build muscle, do you know it's actually possible to still achieve your muscle goals during that fasting period? While it's not exactly as straightforward as it might sound, certain body mechanisms allow your body to adjust and build muscle even at an improved rate when you're fasting. Despite the fact that both subjects are seemingly opposites in terms of what you have to do, especially since food is so important so that you have enough energy to train and also boost your results, it is possible to still go ahead to build muscle mass. But how can you really do this? Well, it all comes down to strategic timing of your workouts, choosing the right meals, and also making the right decisions. In today's video, we'll be taking you through the process of how you can build muscle while fasting. Stay tuned and enjoy. Before going straight into what you need to do and how you need to do it, it's important to take a look at the several mechanisms that make it possible. And the very first one is insulin sensitivity. When you're fasting, it's only normal that your insulin levels will be really low because you're not building muscle or getting in any nutrients. As you might already know, insulin sensitivity is important in the process of building muscle, and when the levels are pretty low, there is almost no chance of getting results. However, insulin levels are directly linked to the levels of the mammalian target of rapamycin, or mTOR. mTOR is known to be a major regulator of growth, and it controls most anabolic and catabolic processes in response to nutrients and nutrient-induced signals like insulin. Studies have shown that a high level of insulin translates to a spike in mTOR, which means you have a high chance of growth and building muscle. While this is something you might think of as cool or something that makes you ask the question, why can't we just spike mTOR levels every time to build muscle faster? It gets pretty ugly when you realize that frequent spikes in mTOR levels have been linked with insulin resistance, weight gain, and obesity. This means that even though the spike can help you, it can also damage your chances of reaching your goals, and this is where strategic timing comes in. Because you don't want mTOR levels to be in high levels at all times, it's important to pick just one time during your fasting period to increase mTOR levels by simply working out. Exercise is one way that has always been known to help with the increasing insulin sensitivity, which means as you exercise, you're able to increase insulin levels, which then results in a spike in mTOR, which then translates to muscle growth. To make things interesting, there are certain foods that can boost your mTOR levels, but we'll come to that later in the video, along with the best time to work out and spike insulin levels. One thing you need to know about mTOR though is that it only gets activated when you already have food in your stomach while working out. If you were to train while fasting, then an enzyme known as AMPK comes into play. AMPK acts as a cellular energy sensor that plays an important role in the control of muscle development and growth. The deal with AMPK is that it is activated by a lack of energy, which is a result of the lack of food and your body now resorting to fat stores to get energy. Training in this kind of stage significantly increases the activity of AMPK to accelerate energy production and also build muscle. So while mTOR will get activated while there's food in your stomach, AMPK works for when you're training in a fasted state, which is a good way to train because over time your body will get better at storing energy, which generally means you'll get stronger. Another thing that plays an important role in how you're able to build muscle even while fasting is called catecholamine, which can be any of the various naturally occurring amines that function as neurotransmitters and hormones within the body. Studies have shown that during fasting, catecholamines are increased in the body, because they're also able to help with burning fat and helping the body to make up for the lack of energy it cannot get from food. While this doesn't exactly help your muscle building goals, as it probably only preserves your muscles at best, catecholamines are also known to lead to the construction of blood vessels, and this is what helps you. Despite the fact that this might not sound helpful at first, it actually turns out that during the construction of blood vessels, catecholamines help isolate blood to the larger muscles in the body, which then increases strength and mass. This means that muscle groups like your quads, chest, glutes, back, and a couple of others get to enjoy a lot from this benefit, though it doesn't have a significant disadvantage on your auxiliary muscles. So, when should you work out and what should you eat? When you're fasting, it's important to plan your workout for the period before you break your fast. This is important because it is at this period that you can gain benefits from insulin sensitivity and your exercise efforts at the same time. As we've mentioned earlier, working out helps to increase insulin sensitivity. And since you're also not eating for hours throughout the day, your intake of protein and carbs immediately to break your fast increases your insulin and puts you in a position that triggers your body to start building muscle. This is also the perfect time to get mTOR levels elevated to your benefit because eating lean protein or simply supplementing with essential amino acids like leucine can spike mTOR levels. This doesn't mean you should only eat protein or supplement with leucine, because you also need a couple of other things, one of which is carbs. In addition to working out towards the end of your fast and also breaking your fast with lean protein as part of your diet, carbs can also play an important role in improving insulin sensitivity and helping you build muscle. Again, this is another case where you'll have to be quite conscious of the amount and type of carbs you eat. When it comes to carbs, you'll need to balance out your intake with both glucose and fructose. This combination allows more absorption of carbs to spike insulin and mTOR levels to then deliver the results you need. To make up your portion of carbs, you'll need to consume around 15 grams of fructose like oranges or vegetables. However, unlike fructose that can be easily absorbed and then utilized by the body almost immediately, glucose needs a bit of sodium, which can be in the form of salt, to properly be absorbed instead of having it causing blood pressure spikes or other problems due to the incomplete absorption. So to add to the 15 grams of fructose, you'll need to add a quarter or half teaspoon of high-quality salt, as well as around 30 to 40 grams of glucose that can be in the form of starchy foods like rice. Even though you'll finally want to completely keep out fats from your diet, adding a small amount of omega-3s, which can be found in something like salmon, can actually increase protein synthesis by up to 50%. After consuming all these calories from your protein, carbs, and omega-3s, which ensures you've also experiencing a range of period of spikes in mTOR and insulin levels. One thing you can do in addition to your efforts is to consume MCT oil before going to bed. This is very good because it can help to boost your metabolism and also see the catecholamines, which we've mentioned before, come into play and allow you to continue burning fat and calories so that you wake up energetic and recharged. It can also serve as a good way to halt the spikes in mTOR before going to bed. If you're also someone who likes to work out in the morning, and it's when you'll be breaking your fast, taking caffeine along with your post-workout meal can boost your muscle building efforts by increasing muscle glycogen levels. This is not advisable for evening workouts because it could affect your sleep and prevent your muscles from recovering as they should. And well, this is why breaking your fast in the morning after your workout might be better for building muscles while fasting. Regardless of whether that's something you plan to add for extra benefit, ensure to stick to the basics, which are to train close to the period to break your fast, eat protein, a good balance of carbs, and also around 2 to 4 grams of omega-3s. What is your fasting plan like? Does it already include working out? Let us know in the comments section. If you also enjoyed the video, hit the like button, share it with your friends, and of course, don't forget to subscribe to the channel. If you like this video, then you should also check out how to start intermittent fasting in 2023, updated information and science.